Sign up now at elevate.miami.edu for my course, Organized Rhyme. Looking at the word legacy, while involving some wordplay, I'll use the first syllable to build upon. We'll use the first syllable, leg. For the second syllable, we'll use an. And for the third syllable, we'll use the word knee. So now we have leg and knee. Can we use it in context with legacy? Let's just see. Wordsworth Productions with a S.com for all merch. I got 2 books available right now. Well, Words Are Worth Volume 1, and I also have a children's book called Socks. Age range from 12 to 15, so it's kind of like the middle school and high school age range, but adults can read it as well. What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What Words Are Worth. And today I got one of the most prolific lyricists, MCs that you've ever heard. If you ever hear this artist rhyme, it's almost like perfect every time. The words that he chooses, any subject, any idea that he comes up with or creates is just something that is difficult to imagine. Also, he's able to put some ill visuals with it. He doesn't play around with anything that deals with lyricism, making music, the culture, and putting it together in a package that's kind of like you can't even mess with him with it. So welcome to the stage today. I got one of the dopest lyricists that you've heard, your friends heard, your cousin heard, everybody around your block know who he is. Four Eyes. What's up, my man?
Wagwan, Wagwan, how art thou, man? All praise to the Most High, man. I am very happy to be here.
Yo, it's doing this show and just trying to get episodes done, as you know, like time. You know how it is with us having time.
Oh, yeah.
But then at the same time, we know so many of us. So then having Instagram going through that, I'm also like, I'm trying to, yo, you got time? You got time.
No, you doing it, bro. You're doing it. There is no try, and you are doing this stuff.
I'm trying to get the time in because I know you're busy. I know everybody's busy. So I'm always trying to just get everybody's time. And the reason why is because trying to figure out to do a podcast. I was always trying to figure out what I want to do it about. Yep. And then this was just perfect for me because I was like, I get to talk to y'all about how y'all come up with this, right? Because I just hear the verse.
Exactly.
I just hear the verse. I don't really go, yo, how long it took you to do this and that. So thanks for coming on the show. And man, I got these questions that everybody want to hear from you about them.
Hey, I'm all for it, man. I'm with it. Hey, I'm like I said, it's an honor and a privilege and a plum picking pleasure to be here. Yeah, man. Plug me in, shoot away.
Yes, and just so y'all know out there, we got several songs together. So this is not just me coming on here. When we got songs out there, so check them out when y'all can.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Let's get to. I'm gonna start first with. Man, I was gonna ask you about your name. Yeah, let's start there. So, what made you go with the Four Eyes name?
Well, at the time that I chose it, I was in between names. I was like bouncing around, really looking for something to stick. And I had just decided that I was no longer going to wear contacts. I was on a sexy nigga mission. I was mad Metro. I had like hazel contacts. I was out there in the malls, trying to woo me something spectacular. But then the more I got into the consciousness, the knowledge of self, I realized I didn't need it to be I already had the genes that were indicative of dominant traits. I didn't need to identify with genetic recessive traits in order to feel comfortable or confident in who I was. So once I ditched the contacts, and I was always smoking all the time, didn't want to be digging the contact out of my eye at 3 in the morning. This is back in the 90s, so the technology hadn't advanced in the same way like it might be now. They're much softer, but moral of the story is I decided I was no longer wearing contacts, and my homeboy said, hey man, you should be Four Eyes. And after a series of figuring out how to spell it, I chose the number 4-IZE, and it's been like that since 97, I think.
Okay, and was there a reason that you said you settled on that spelling of it? Is there like a meaning behind the IZE? We know that's kind of like a suffix and stuff.
Nah, good question. Not wholeheartedly. Didn't want it to just be regular spelling.
Okay.
And it was always, based on, the fat boys knew they was fat and they leaned on that to build on it as opposed to it being an insecurity and trying to hide from it. They leaned heavily towards it. So me always feeling insecure because I had big ass glasses as a shouty, I lean more into the Four Eyes just to always put my negatives on Front Street. Furthering the philosophy is that, can't nothing disrespect me if I don't allow it to disrespect me.
Right. Right. So when it comes to your writing style, for me, when I hear you rhyme, one, you're one of the most prolific artists, period. Like,
Gracias, mi amigo. Thank you, sir.
you consistently are putting out stuff, doing music. But one of the things I would say that when I hear you rhyme, let me take this off, is that it's like almost the perfect rhyme schemes, man. And it's consistently back to back, back to back. Like if I'm looking to get excited to hear rhyme, like last night I was listening to stuff and I want to hear rhymes because I want to hear, I'm trying to think of the next best rhyme. And
Yeah,
us as who we came up as competitors and rappers, it's just in us to be like, somebody said that rhyme, you're trying to come up with a better rhyme, right?
exactly.
So that's how I define your writing style, is just coming up with the perfect rhymes, whether it's multisyllabic, and also being able to stick to it. And you're also able to add seriousness, and then you could also have some humor in it as well. So you have a way of balancing all of that in one and delivering a message, which is very key.
Mm.
So your writing style, how do you define it, and who influenced you, basically?
Oh man, I've been going by the ambassador of everything awesome for a nice little minute, and
Yeah.
it's because of the culmination of everything that makes me who I am. I'm a Virgo, so I have the perfectionist uh, aspect to it.
Okay.
Folks is in their upper 40s, so I had a good majority of generations of hip hop to listen to and be
Right.
inspired by. So when you see greatness, you emulate greatness, and you pattern your own style after the greatness. So even if it's not hip hop, as far as writing, like Marvin Gaye had great written songs. Michael Jackson had great written songs. Prince had great written songs. So I just use all forms of great writing and then bring that to my songs. And then I also grew up in the suburbs. So then, there's that whole aspect of you don't want to be soft because you're in the suburbs because it's more of a stigma of being harder to come from the hood, but then you don't want to fake it and act like you're from the hood when you're not.
Right.
So just being able to toe the line of a series of things. And then being from Chicago, which was gang ridden at the time, always being pulled over this gang or that gang. I was a neutron or neutral, meaning I was with no gang. So then there is a certain median or a middle lane that allows me to be a part of so many different areas, aspects, genres of life, which it is all comes across in my music. It's going to be funny. It's going to be entertaining. KRS-One was always edutainment, so I'm gonna educate as much as I entertain. And then hip hop was always each one teach one, so then I make sure it's a moral to the story. So I just really um, incorporate all of the pillars that were really monumental in me establishing my foundation into my music at all times. As
Is
far as
there your favorite? Yeah, I was gonna ask about.
man, inspiration, it's always going to be KRS-One out the gate. But then once again, I'm from Chicago. I was dancing before I was rapping. So then, we got the MC Hammer, the Kid and Play. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Kwame, just the whole polka dot, patent leather, pants, rayon with the shoes. I was that before I got mentally equipped to express myself verbally. So just
Right.
the transitions, I want to make sure that I'm just incorporating all the different facets of hip hop. It's if I could spray paint while I was spitting the verse, I would. You know what I'm saying? Just but to keep it fully hip hop, man, it's always gonna be Nas. I mean, I like to not leave out nobody, but I mean, even Immortal Technique on some current as far as incorporating the political stuff into it. Presently, I mean, all lyricists, lounge MCs. I mean, come on, Common, Black Thought from Chicago, so Common was a big influence. The Tribe, Wu Tang, Gangstar. I mean, it's really all the hip hop from the golden era that my teenage years. So I mean, I'm gonna easily say it's really all hip hop, but nigga, 98 to 96 is my foundation. And we can go
Yeah.
98. I can stretch it because I don't want to leave out certain projects, but it's just a pocket of things were this good at this time. I always need to do them this good. And I heard so much good music in that period that I just I go back to that. I always tap back into that level of consistency, and it allows me to get the praise that you're giving me for my lyricism today.
Yeah, we can definitely hear that. Especially you'll do so many different types of styles. Like you might rhyme, catch you on an 80s beat, might catch you on a 90s beat, catch you on
Yeah,
2000. You
yeah.
never know what we're gonna catch you with. It's so random. Like you dig into this. I like to call it tool shed that you have of
Hmm.
like, you know what, this need that. Hold on for a second. Let me go in the tool shed. Let me see. I got a pair of those. Fix this in.
Oh,
So it's very diverse seeing you rhyme on pretty much anything in any style. So when you're writing, are you pen, paper, phone, in your dome?
oh
How
man.
how you come up with these rhymes and remember them, man?
I'm real big on notes. I went to a very wonderful and prestigious. All the schools in Oak Park, Illinois, were really good. So my level of taking notes, as far as doing a book report, making sure you got your glossary and your bibliography, and all the things that are necessary to back up the information that you provide in your presentation. So I'm all about the pen and the pad. I mean, I would even still have index cards, but now I'll put a line in the phone, or if I hear a phrase, a word, anything that is sexy enough to where it's like, ooh, I'm finna put that in a rap at some period of time, and then I just have this huge bank of words, phrases, slogans, or whatever to just pull from, depending on the topic of the subject, and that keeps me, just in the mix. But I'm always pen and paper. I don't like scrolling on my phone. I don't know if it's just old school or even whether it's eyesight trying to read it, but when I can write it, and it helps with memorization. When you write anything 25 times, that'll put it in your mind. So if I really want to learn something, I will write the verse 25 times, and then it's easy to go spit the freestyle on Sway in the Morning
Right.
or Street Leakers or whatever. That helps me prepare writing wise, but it's always pen and a pad.
Dope. So when you're writing as well and you're making these songs and you're either creating for yourself or others, is it the chorus first or the verse first?
It used to be the verse first before I knew any better. Now, because my goal has always been to master the art of songwriting and
Yeah.
song creation, so it's always the chorus now first, which um, gives a better idea. But then at the same time, if I'm stuck on the chorus, like it's not clicking, but I know what the song is going to be about, I'll just start writing the verse, and then that'll help get the juices flowing, and then I'll be like, there's the melody or the cadence or the words that I need. So, but it always lean with topic, then chorus, then verse, and then I could go topic, verse, chorus, but subject matter most important. Unless I'm just cipher track or hey, just be good. It don't matter. Just put some folks on it. But I like to why Ah, chorus first.
So I'm curious to ask you this question about the chorus verse thing because being that you've written so much and done so much, how about those times? I think we've both probably been there when, let's say, maybe paying for studio time, maybe not your session, maybe it's important session, you know, and we kind of sometimes we are, hey, chorus first going in with that. Um, does that kind of, I guess, sway your decision? Because time wise, you could be on a chorus mad long, but your verse might be fast, and it might be vice versa for others. So how do you gauge that time with the chorus and verse, or you would I heard you say you would switch gears, but the
Oh
time frame.
yeah. Um, and then a lot of times I might have the chorus already pre-done, but then if I'm on the spot trying to figure it out, and it's just me, because I do like to work with folks. Hey man, start figuring out what the chorus might be. Come up with this melody. I'm gonna start on this verse.
Okay,
But And then that's why I'll be like, hey man, we're not supposed to be wasting time in the studio spending money when we could be doing this free in somebody's man cave or garage or something like that. So check this out. Give me the beat, and I'm gonna go home and freely do it in a time conducive manner that
right.
allows us to get the best out of all parties involved. But if I can't do it that way, I mean, it's priority. What's my responsibility? Am I responsible for the verse or the song? So then I'll just Hey man, it was that some you asked me to come. I'm doing what you told me to do. But because I construct things differently. If it's me, I set up the train different. I don't put the head car in the back, or the cart before the horse.
Right.
And a lot of times, as much as it's fun to be in the studio, it's other people's time and dime. So like, yo, let's figure all this monkey shit out before we get there, and then everybody can do what they do best in the least amount of time. So there's that.
Yeah, I think it's important to hear that from you because it's other versions of us out there,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're running into these scenarios, but kind of like it's
Well,
pressure too. It's
That's what.
pressure.
Well, I don't have any children, and my wife is very loving and allowing for my lifestyle. So then I understand that the studio is the escape for other folks. Like, in order for them to get us a good train of thought, they need
Right.
to dip out and be in the studio. So I get that aspect too.
Yep.
But when money is involved, because I done been charged for, I, if my time was at 7 and I got there at 7:15, I was already charged for them 15 minutes. It was my fault that I didn't get there. So I've just learned to appreciate studio time way different.
Right. Right. So, how long did it take for you to write a verse, do a song? You know.
Ooh, it depends on the feel. It depends on the content. If I don't know a lot about the subject, I got to look it up, do my research, get my vocabulary, my verbiage, my index glossary words together.
Right.
If it's something I know about, or then I can just go right in. Um, if the beat is tricky or got like a certain bounce to it and I want to ride that bounce, I may take a little bit more time to get in the pocket of the track. Um, but uh it could be an hour to a week realistically for one verse.
So, my question, reason why I like asking this question is because you're this is your business, doing writing verses and doing music, so there comes a lot of time constraints with this,
Mm.
so you have to balance that. So like for instance, somebody asks you for a verse today and they need it by, we're doing this right now early morning, but they need it by the afternoon. How do you kind of work through that versus having that time to do it for your own length of time?
It's funny that you say that. Because of the pressure, I feel like I would have it done in like 30 to 45 minutes and then be on my way to the studio to record it and then have it to them before they even said they needed it. It would all just depend on if Mud Knock had the time open. But when I'm backed into a corner, like if you say, hey, 4 hours, I need a verse right now for such and such,
Right.
you would have it. Like I just literally I cut everything off. But I structured my life and set it up to where I could do that. A lot of people don't have that. Like, I don't gotta wait to get off of work. Like, I'm full time 4 hours. And
Right.
I set that up a few years ago because it was just more beneficial.
So what's the quality control with that time frame? Because I know if I'm asked to write around within an hour or so, I can do it. But then also the MC and me and MC and you, and we know how it is. You like you we search for 1,000 rhymes. You know what you know how mine is running through. We
True.
might try to do one line, two lines, searching for like 4,000 rhymes for one or two lines.
That
So
is correct.
are
Um,
you hard on yourself about that because the quality control?
yes, but then that's where the confidence comes into play. I didn't have the most confidence early in the game, and the more
Okay.
that I've built it up, the more I know that when I do what I do, I'm A1. So then I go to my bank of different slogans, catchphrases, and interesting words mixed with whatever topic or target I've been tasked to assassinate. And then I go in and I get the job done. And then I look at the body and I'll be like, yeah, that's the amount of blood I need on the scene. And then I take a picture and I send it back like, hey, is that the type of murder you wanted? And they be like, you know what? That's actually exactly what I was looking for. And I'm like, cool beans. Then I hang it up on the wall with all my other murders. And then it reaffirms the confidence that I have to, do the killing that I'm capable of doing at this level.
So then also as far as the studio, what's or just writing in general, morning, evening, you need a lot of people around. What
Morning.
prefer to be by yourself? Okay.
Daytime. As soon as I get up, I'm a constant smoker, and then even understanding the cycles of serotonin and melatonin. throughout the pineal gland. It's most imperative for us to get that work in the daytime hours. So I like to be most active uh, in the day. I would do my shows at 11 o'clock in the morning and 12 in the afternoon if I could. I prefer to do everything earlier because that's when I have the most energy.
Right. And then writing to a beat or having the rhymes prepared, which do you just pop up sometimes and be like, yeah, I got something for that? Or do you prefer like to customize it now?
Both. It sometimes, you could walk into a store and be like, "Oh, I got a hat that matched that shirt perfect," and then you just get the shirt because you already know you got the hat. So sometimes it's like that, to where it's like, "Oh, this verse, I'm finna snatch this from such and such. It goes right with this." Other times it's like I might try it and it don't fit, it don't sound right, and then that's when I know, like, no, I need to be fresh or on more even current or just in the moment and ride the beat, make it to where
Yeah,
it
yeah.
fits in the pocket and bounces the way it is supposed to give the best expression. So, it just depends on how lazy a nigga is. But I don't like to be lazy. I like to push myself to really make sure that one, I'm snapping harder than whoever asked me to get on the song. And then two, it builds a Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb trail back to all the other work that I've done that is of equal, similar, or greater quality.
Yeah, that's key today. I think more so than anything, right? Like before, it was only a handful of MCs, but now
Yeah,
everybody's putting music out all the time that you kind of pretty much got to look at it like, yo, the monetary aspect of it, of course, think about that as business people and all of that. But at the end of the day, a lot of times, like I'm just like, yo, that's dope. Let me get on that because it'll lead back to this. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I like the way that you said, like you leaving breadcrumbs there for people to go back to that because that's how I think of it too. I'm like,
Hmm.
yo, let me get on. Oh, that sounds fire. I might even find somebody online, don't know them, but just heard it come through and be like,
Exactly.
yo, this is kind of fire, yo. You mind if if you got a remix, let me know. I want to get on that situation and rock with you. So I love that idea, like leaving the breadcrumbs. I might use that another time, but yeah,
Oh,
that's dope. That's exactly what it's about.
it's all for you, my brother. Please, it's all ours. What's mine is yours, my brother. Ooh, wee. But absolutely, just being able to connect the dots, and then that picture when it show up, folks would be like, "Yo, I didn't know this dude was that dope," or like, "Oh man, I can't believe I missed this," or even just creating the avenue for people to be more allowing and accepting of other music, because folks get in they, "I only listen to this and I only listen to this," and it's like, nah, man, like really, like get
Yeah,
to the
people
jams.
missing a lot. It's all right. So there's a lot more music, but people are missing a lot more music,
Hmm. See, yeah,
right?
that part, that
Right. So
part.
like, of course, then you got the people that are the faithful Four Eyes fans from years, but then we grow up to dealing with life, and then they catch you, like you said, on something else and be
Yeah.
like, yo, I didn't even know Four Eyes was still doing it. It's like, he never stopped. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Never
So
stop.
people are able to catch up to the catalog and understand that, dudes have been doing it and being prolific with it. So as far as when you're writing these rhymes and putting them together, how do you pick the beats? Because
Um,
you rhyme on a lot of different things. So can I give a perspective real quick? Is that
go for it.
when I see you rhyming on stuff, there's always an aim. Like you don't just rhyme on stuff to rhyme on stuff. Like there's always some type of like um idea behind what you're rhyming on. Like I'm doing that for this, or I'm doing that to attract this, or I'm doing that because I got this coming out. It's
Hmm.
always intentional.
But when it's really me and I'm like, to my heart, I'm picking the most like primo Wu Tang, Mob Deep, Tribe Called Quest, um, Dilla esque beats like Kanye, No ID. Like I'm picking from the catalog of greatness that I was raised on in my mind. I'm looking for those similarities. So, and then once again, I'll still go off into uh just other genres of music, whether it's rock, whether it's jazz, whether it is some soul, um, because we sample in hip hop, all those elements get added at some point in time. So then to just merge and fuse it all together is where the gold is at. But I like something with a melody, something that's hard. From Chicago once again, so I get, we get East Coast music, we get West Coast music, we got a down South music. So Chicago got to be
Yeah.
a cornucopia of styles. It wasn't, just the one. Like everybody didn't sound like Do or Die. Everybody didn't sound like Crucial Conflict. Everybody didn't sound like Common Sense. So you was getting this mixture, and it was always like a funky soulful because blue collar city in the Midwest. But I like I just lean toward the goosebumps. Like when you get them goosebumps when it come on, or
Yeah.
when I like
Right.
that's when I know we in the mix. And um yeah, the goal has always been to pick the best beats possible, because before you say anything, and even if they don't understand the language you speak, if that beat doing what it's supposed to and the melodies is there, folks is gonna want to hear the song again, play it again, and you build your career off great vibes.
And then this has been kind of like a question that came out of another interview, but it's been kind of like something that we understand as MCs, that everybody's answers are kind of wild. But how many beats do you prefer sent to you? Do you like
Ooh,
4 beats? Do you like 30? Because that's been a question that I came up with, and then I see people reactions. I'm like, crazy.
so yo, I tell niggas I'm married. Like they come up to me like, "Hey, I got some beats for you." It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm married right now." Like I have the producers that I mess with, and I resort to them when I need it. I don't, because even the time you talk about time consuming, I don't want to listen to a bunch of trash. I don't want to pick through the trash. I don't want to go through trash because everybody gonna say that they hot. But then it's like, all right, well, how do I know? And then once I start research, like, no, you're not hot. Don't send me no beats. But they swore up and down, like, no, I got that fire. Now look on their page, and I'll be like, man, this is, and it's just trash to me because I'm bougie.
Yeah.
I'm hip hop bougie. I have my palate is catered to a certain way because of the quality that I'm conditioned to, and I don't like to, what I'm saying, muddy my own taste buds or senses just for whatever. So I say, don't even send me no beats. I see people out, and then I say, hey man, you got some stuff, and then they can send me whatever. But I don't even let, hey, can I sing you some? No, no, I'm good. Don't even do it, player. Don't even do it. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'm being mean. Let me check their page. No, I was right on the money. No, player, don't send me no beats. I'm good.
Yeah, checking the pages have been the best for me with stuff. I go check a page. Y'all got beats. I check a page, and then if somebody said, send some beats, I'd be like, not right now. Like you said, I'd be like, not right now. I got something else I'm working on. And then as you're rhyming, because you got the cadences, you got so much of the multisyllabic things. What do you prefer to punch in, or is it straight through? Which one you like? Does it have, when you're delivering these rhymes, does it matter if you're punching?
I have valued smoking blunts more than um, breath control. So for the breath control I do have, it is almost like it's like an old dude on the court that can't jump, but he knows the game. So he got all the moves because he's knowledgeable, but he can't really jump as high. So if I could make it through a verse without punching, that's great. That means I structured it properly. I left myself enough room to breathe, and I could do it. Other times I'm trying to and like, no, I'm not finna have a breath control because I want to project. I don't want to just say it and then I got through it, but then it sounds trashy. I want to project. So
Yeah.
then in doing that, to put the radio voice on it, it's like, ooh, I just used a lot of air on those 4 bars right there. Punch. It sounded real good, but instead of keep even trying to force it, I just like, you know what? We got the technology, nigga. Give me the boob job, punch, nigga.
Yeah, I always think that's the other thing. Like nobody can really tell. You could tell some people have that pride within themselves and their own thing about it. But I think especially I assume you record yourself too. I record myself at home.
Uh,
So,
I would. I haven't graduated to that point yet.
oh yeah,
I
okay,
would love to, but I just keep. I let the engineer. I let Mudnock Studios. My guy Mudnock. Been working
dope.
with him for like 5, 6 years now. And he's the best engineer for me as far as how we in sync.
Right.
But yeah, now I just I always wanted to, but it's just I might as well make my own beats then too. And it's like, nah, I need to, because if I do that, then I still got to come up with the marketing. I still need to figure out who's gonna do the promotion. I still got to create this short form content. I still got to make my own videos. And that's where it's like, nah, man, I'm for what I already do, I'm not finna do that too.
Yeah, just kind of relieve you of one of those
Man,
tasks so you can think
absolutely.
about the other tasks. So,
Absolutely.
and then the revision process, what's that like for you? Because you're coming up with mad rhyme schemes.
Oh man.
So I know you got to be leaving some stuff off the table, like, or like to the
Oh, I
side.
was I was raised on the rough draft. Like I have to write my verse and then I have to be able to read it clearly or legible. So then I rewrite it so as I can read it. And then I still may spit it, but if it don't sound, if it's still choppy for what I know,
Yeah,
I'll relay the verse after I listened to it a few times and got it memorized so I could just have a cleaner flow. All the transitions, everything's just cleaner. So I'm a revision master. And then even back to the beats you was talking about, man, I got beats from 2013. I got beats from 2008 that are still good. If don't nobody say nothing, don't nobody know. Quality
right.
is quality. If it's timeless, it's timeless. So,
I mean,
uh,
look at DMX. He was using rhymes on the first album from like 13-year-old verses or something like that. Like he was using mad old verses on his first album. He was like, you
and,
know,
and if I don't use mad old verses, I'll still use like a mad old line. Like, oh, the line was always hot, but maybe it was on something that ain't streaming now, or that I put out on a mixtape that didn't. Whatever. I recycle or revisit certain stuff, and
yeah.
I was concerned about it, but then when I saw how many times Kanye actually spit that uh, miracle whip mayonnaise bins went line, I was like, oh, he rapped the same verse everywhere he went, so if he rapping the same three verses everywhere he go, I know that I can go through these 50 verses that I got and then seem like a machine because I can just pull them out anywhere.
Yeah, I think also from listening to the techniques that you're using, there's always going to be something there that won't make the cut, but you definitely know it's still of the same standards. You're able, your standards as far as your quality control as we spoke before. So as far as when you're revising the rhyme and putting it together, um, are you thinking about like what's the 12 bars versus doing a 16? Like
Oh,
some people, I've done a song, I've done songs before, and I'm like, this just need a 12 because of maybe the beat structure. What about that? Are you 16 always?
I was 16 always up until this last project I just did because the clicking of it, the fact that the music business is 90% business and 10% music.
Mhm.
And more business is more hook, more chorus. Uh, People attention span is shot, so the songs need to be shorter. You need to get right to it. No long ass intros. No just a bunch of dumb stuff. No unnecessary profanity. So even if I'm like, damn, I don't need to say take that out. So then I go and revise even in that era. But eights and 12s is all I did on, well, I think it's 116, excuse me, 216s on this next project. But everything is 8, 12, back to the back to the chorus, back to the hook. And I got all types of melodies and singing. Like, yeah, I'm not finna sing no more. I wrote it. Let me get somebody who actually sounds better. It's more melodic and it grabs more people as opposed to the ego of me feeling like I people need to hear me do and say every damn thing. It's like, nah, bro. So that's why I don't need a 16 no more. I know I'm dope. I don't need to do it in 16. I can do it in 12. Do it in 8.
Yeah, I learned like being with Ace, like once I started connecting with Ace years ago and doing albums and being around him, he was like, yo, you don't need to do every hook, man. You don't need to do every like yo, you get somebody else to do that. That'll
Hmm.
sound good doing that. And then I started going like, okay, now I gotta start, start envisioning, all right, who could say that? Who could do this? On this new album, I'm doing with Stu Bangers, I got Rusty Jux, and
Hmm.
he's just doing the hook. And it's
Exactly.
just, like, yo, doing the hook. And it was like, I posted it the other day. And he was like, man, it came out fire because it's just trying to like, I don't even mind doing that. If somebody just be like, your words, do the hook for me. I'm like, fine.
Hmm.
I'm fine because we're all instruments. So sometimes you need the guitar.
That is exactly what it is. We are all instruments. Every voice, the voices are the last instruments to get added 9 times out of 10. When you hear the beat and the voice goes, and that is where I'm like, okay, so how many voices can I put on here to do, even if it's just saying, something here or there, or we all stack in the chorus to make this word, give an extra emphasis, and
Right.
just all that extra, those extra layers make the track warmer. It makes it more inviting, and more people gravitate to it when it's layered up properly. So yeah, man, the more voices, sometimes the better. It's just about the conductor. The conductor has to work the orchestra properly and make sure that the violins and the congas or whatever, and the strings and the triangle, that they all coming in when they're supposed to come in. But yeah, man, I'm real big now on using voices. Like every album finna be like the Chronic. Now I'm just finna, you gonna hear RBX, you gonna hear Lady of Rage, you gonna hear Snoop, you gonna hear like Corrupt, you gonna hear, and that just constant variety makes it to where, you know, um, why ain't there no more groups? Like everybody, I understand. I guess the money was so bad to where it's like people don't do groups no more because they don't want to split the money. Everybody want to do everything by themselves, so it's less of a collective. It's less of, native tongue. Just the whole, just the it's and
Yeah, I
that's why.
think that's part of it. I think also the fact that it's become a more of a you see so many people being like one man army now. When we
Yeah.
came up, we had crew, right? Pretty
Yep.
much. We would be, I'm the rapper, my man is the producer,
Hmm.
he does graffiti, this person DJs, this person is just another rapper. Like this was our crew. We
Hmm.
all trying to dress fly. And then
Hmm.
you had a dude that was in the crew that just was trying to get girls, maybe.
Hmm.
We didn't have the videographer back then.
Right.
Then now, as it evolved, I saw that then they got the videographer involved because then they can start making their own videos. And
Hmm.
then I think that even evolved to, yo, I can do everything by myself. So now the group thing is I'll rhyme with you, but at the end of the day, everybody's so self-sufficient, man. I don't even think
Man.
and you got to deal with the headaches of other people when you just I can record it, put it out, video. And one other thing, I think because it's so oversaturated that you're gonna have people thinking they're dope doing it. So you're just gonna have people just doing everything by themselves because there's people that's not necessarily dope to us or in our eyes that are successful. So hey, if they could do it, I could do it. So I don't need everybody else. It's very much like that now.
Yeah, yes. That's why we gotta lead by example. I guess yeah, I'm gonna kick it off. We gotta lead by example because they've been dividing our people for too long, and everything that just keeps setting us up. We can all be self sufficient and independent, but we still need to come back together with that self sufficiency and independence to where it's like, man, we get a whole lot more done as a group. Like that's they tricked us into this. Ain't no more groups. They done tricked us into no more groups.
More groups. So the other mastery that you have of this is you're able to master storytelling.
Oh yes.
And it's within whatever you're rhyming. You like find a pocket to tell a story. Like you could get on a funk beat and be like, I'm at the sunset of the sun, and
Yep.
ba-da-da-da, right? And you'll even add the cadence and the voice of that era,
Absolutely.
and then you might just then another beat you'll switch whatever the beat is, you'll be able to just tap into that pocket of that. The storytelling aspect, when did it become important to you? Because we came up watching and learning that the competitive nature and I'm the best rapper, this and that, But then at some point we had to like say, okay, to be here, I gotta get this down. So when did that become so important to you?
I've always been a storyteller because I was a writer before I was an MC. And I
Okay.
was, elementary school, we writing creative stories. And then during the summertime or lunchroom, after school is jokes, who got the best jokes or who could tell the funniest stories, which involve, jokes or whatever. So all of that, once, you listen to your Slick Ricks or your, um, man, who Modis or who big, anybody who had a story, really storytelling has always been an essential part of MCing. And I was writing stories before I started rapping, so it I can't remember the first story I wrote. I take that back. I was rapping my book reports in American history class about Joseph Stalin. So stuff like that. Like I was allowed to do, but nobody else is rapping their book report. But it's like, yeah, to entertain myself, I decided to write a rap about this nigga. So I had always saw the value of the story and just like, oh, telling the story, but just make the bitch rhyme. And I got out of telling stories because, man, it's not the easiest thing to do. Uh, like, of course, it is easy, but I had to want to do it. Like, what stories did I want to tell? So I
Right.
didn't necessarily have a story I wanted to tell for a while. But now, I'm super snapping, jacking on the
Oh yeah.
storytelling as to where um, it's the most important part now because a lot of our stories are being erased or certain information that's being lost or whitewashed. So now to incorporate these stories into the music is a form of just letting it live on infinitely to where children's story is once again that is going to come on tonight in a bunch of clubs
Right.
everywhere. So
Yeah, I noticed. That's what I noticed about like when what you doing. You were doing that series, right? A verse a day, right? When you doing like a series, like a verse a day.
yeah,
And what made you want to do that series? Like say, because when I saw that, you made me go like, okay, this guy's really. Let me. Am I slacking? I gotta step up. Like this guy, a verse a day. This guy's every day doing a
yeah,
verse. It definitely, I'm sure. I
man,
even just knowing you and I even me as an MC, I'm sure I can speak highly for other MCs. It made us go, man, I gotta step my game up as far as like my productivity and like, am I slacking on my job, man? So what made you decide to do that, right? And then it was dope because you were actually taking on characters. You were doing a lot to make it uh interactive and it went viral. So what made you come up with it? And then what did you see come out of doing that?
I started doing it because hold on. I started doing it because I was promoting a show that me and Head Crack and you George was doing. But I was trying to figure out a better way to create short form content on Instagram as I was new to Instagram, but wanted to promote this party. And the one thing that I knew that I do well that I rap. So I was like, well, maybe if I just rap really good for 7 days and run this 7 day campaign up until my birthday party, that'll be the necessary promotion. And in doing that, I got great response and a couple folks saying, "Hey, man, I feel like Foaz could probably do this every day. Hey, Foaz, you should do this every day." And I was like, well, it was just a campaign, but because all I did was take 7 hot verses that I had in the stash and just spit them. And then
Right.
once they was like every day, I was like, well, if I took every verse I've ever written that people, because I had nothing was streaming at the time, I had nothing out. It was just a bunch of old mixtapes or whatever, and we were out of the mixtape era. So I all my old material, all my old projects, old mixtapes, and then I just set it up, whose beat I was gonna rap over, what verse, what costume, what outfit, and then like I got more into it as it kept going, realizing, oh, I'm finna do all Primo beats this week. Oh, I'm finna do all I don't know like old school sample beats this week. Or then I had got a pimple on my head, so then I put a scarf on my head. So then I had to wear a scarf for like 3 days, and then it was like, you know what? I'm finna keep wearing scarves on my head. So then I just started doing that for. So it was just so I'm gonna keep elevating my headgear now because the scarves are doing so good. So it was just me being and then experimenting in that being, and then from that, once my guy Jack Thriller got Nick Cannon following me, and then I end up getting the audition to be on Wild 'N Out. Almost made it. And then Snoop Dogg had reposted one of my joints, and when he did it, he said under it, "My cousin got bars." And since everybody think I look like this nigga, motherfuckers thought I was really his cousin. So now it's this whole thing about me
Yeah.
really being Snoop Dogg's cousin on the internet, in which it's like a chick with a hair weave. I don't say I'm not unless you really ask me. They be like, hey, is that your hair? Like, no, it's a weave. But if they want to think, hey, he looks, hey, I just let it ride. But um, I learned the consistency and independence from doing that to where it's like, short of standing on the corner and rapping for nickels or looking to be discovered. That's why I was like, all right, Instagram is like standing on the corner and rapping for nickels, and whoever like it going, whatever. And that's how as it grew, that's how I saw it to become, to where more people got to uh just be exposed to me, as to where if I wasn't doing that, they would not know about me. I would be just, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
And yeah, I've built a plethora of relationships from rapping online. Like I just seen Tech Nine the other day in Atlanta, and it was my first time meeting after chatting online. And I'm rapping as Four Eyes to him. That's how he refers to me. So
Yeah.
just even to have that, like, cause hey, I'm not short ass Four Eyes, or or dreadhead Four Eyes. Either to be rapping as Four Eyes means all right. That's what we get acknowledged for. We do good.
And then as far as like with doing the music, do you feel like you found your purpose? Oh,
Oh yeah. Well, the music is just the instrument. The purpose is the message.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, we all vessels, and we all gotta spread the knowledge and spread the love. So the music is just a vessel to do that. It's all about the real purpose is um, leading by example, letting everybody know that the heaven is within. If they want to solve all their problems, they want to get rid of all that BS. If they want to really improve the quality of their life, we need to elevate our consciousness, and that goes. We have to go within. The Alchemist. I don't want to ruin the Alchemist book, but dude had to go all around the world just to go back to where he started, to realize that what he needed was where he started.
right.
So it's like everybody is tricked into looking outside of themselves for salvation, or outside of themselves for a savior. And salvation and our true savior is within. It's within us to hold fast, take a bunch of deep breaths, and then the answer will come. And then we make it happen. That's
Yeah,
the message. That's the
that's the
purpose.
man. Heaven is within. That's like an album title right there within
Absolutely.
itself.
Absolutely.
So, how about any creative blocks? Do you feel like writer's block or anything like that?
Oh, the blocks come with doubt, with uncertainty. When you're confident in who you are, you tapped into the source, and you know that you serve the Most High is a God of abundance. So, like, what do I look like running out? My God ain't gonna run out, so how I'm gonna run out? My Father don't run out, so as His child, what do I look like running out? So, just even with that mentality, it doesn't allow me to have writer's block. I used to have it, but like I said, I wasn't the most confident in my abilities and who I was before. So I would allow a block to even set in. But the reality is, it's never no block. It's only blockages within us that prevent us from fully expressing the divinity of our inner being.
Yeah, I thought about it too when just being younger, hearing writer's block, writer's block. And then you get old and you be like, that's really just like, I don't think that exists because if, let's say, me, Four Eyes, and all of y'all that are watching and listening, whether you produce or you're a writer, rapper, we're all hired for next week to do 30 songs. And we got paid.
Yeah.
Uh, ain't gonna be no writer's block going on. Ain't gonna
No, I got a
be
job to
no
do.
producer block going on. Dudes is looking at, we got hired, we work for hire. This is what we got paid to do. This is what we have to do. So I think it's more so once you understand we are a business and a job, you start to understand like, well, I can do it when I need to do it. So that, and I
Yeah.
think one of the main things you say that has been coming up on this a lot is that confidence.
Yeah, man.
Yo, building that confidence of this being you is very key because I always tell people this too that are like they'll be look at somebody and be like that person ain't good or whatever the case, and I'll be like, well, if you don't feel it good, of course, put your own stuff out. But
Hmm.
I always think this as well is a bad product with better promotion will always be the good product with bad promotion. So
Yes.
if that person is confident and they keep dropping, they're gonna build up this audience. If
Hmm.
you mad confident, think you it, and you be like, yo, I'm just going, I don't need to rhyme like that. I don't need to do it. I'm just going to fall back.
Yeah.
Don't don't complain when that person is going out
And
there.
and I'm a big advocate. Yeah, because folks might hate, and then the hate end up being complaining because they not where they want to be.
Right.
But then the reality is nobody keeps nobody from where they want to be, unless you stop. Like it's always obstacles on Mario Brothers, but that's why we play the game because it's obstacles. If I could just run straight to the flag and get the princess, I wouldn't play that damn game.
Right.
So once I shifted my mindset of how I looked at things, it changed the way I went through life and the way life went through me or expresses itself through me. And things are a lot more bountiful and wonderful because my perspective, my paradigm is switched. I don't look at things the same way. So once we switch our lens, like I mean, it's easy. It's the half a glass of water. We all know it's a half a glass, but you could be happy with the half or be upset about the half. And that mentality, once it really sets in, like yo, it permeates to the good parts, and it,
Yeah.
there is no blocking. I could rap about that half a glass of water and
Right.
on 12 different records about the same glass of water.
Yeah. And man, I remember there was a time younger, I was like, man, I don't want to run out of rhymes. You just thinking this is young me, like,
Yeah,
you know, I got rhymes, writing rhymes. Cause at time back then I would write a rhyme just, because you know how it is. You could get approached on the street anytime, back in
yeah,
the hey,
boy.
yo, you got bars, it was rhyme. But now it's more so everything's custom to it. But it was that thought process of like, nah, I don't want to write on rhymes and so on and so forth. But confidence. Confidence is the key to everything with this, what you're saying. So, what are three pieces of work or like albums or songs you would suggest, like somebody never heard you? Is there something you would want somebody to go check, whether it's YouTube or single?
Oh, this is great. I just put out an album in April called All Seeing Eyes on Me. It is a like what is
It's
what
a lot of joints on there.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's like a double album. It's a refurbished version of my Look Into My Eyes album that I put out during the pandemic. That it's the pandemic, so I just yeah. But nonetheless, All Seeing Eyes on Me. It's a gang of folks on there. It's a gang of songs. It's all top quality lyricism and production. That's definitely a great representation of your boy. And then I just did a project with Browns Nazareth called Slave Boats with Seatbelts. It's I'll say pseudo conspiracy theory esque project. It's a lot of new age thinking or reevaluating uh, philosophies and history in a different way that gives us a different perspective, which gives it the pseudo conspiracy aspect. But nonetheless, very educational, very informative, and very entertaining. A lot of great lyrics on there. And what else? I mean, really,
What
that's a
about because See, you got so much stuff, man, out there, just like joints. So my question would be, what's that song that you like that doesn't get the love that it deserves? Because you know what I'm saying. You know how we do so many records, and to me, I'll be like, this is my favorite joint on the album. But we ain't put it out. It wasn't the single though. But
Yeah.
because you figured like this sounds more for everybody else, but this is my personal best. What's your favorite record you've done that most of us probably never checked that you love?
I mean, only because we ain't talk about it yet. The verse I spit on Ludacris' first album, word of mouth and off. Yeah, Chris allowed me to completely wash the shit out of him on his own album, in which I spit a spectacular 60 some bars, if not more. And because it came out in 2000, um, it gets overlooked. I believe that's probably the man you're digging. I don't know how to separate my songs. All my children are beautiful, so I can't tell you to go listen to
That first, people need to know that you've done that and been on these tiers with people, of lyricism. So I'm glad you brought up that
Oh
particular
yeah,
person song.
oh yeah, because Luda's a dope MC, and
Yeah,
he super snaps always when he's featured on other folks' stuff. So when I was featured on his, it was a pleasure to be able to completely snap as hard as I did. So that's definitely one for the books. I think folks should always go check that out. And then if they don't know, I did the hook on the MF Doom Food album with Star. Then that's always something to go check out. Figure those are big noteworthy demonstrations to where if I've appeased you enough on those, then maybe you'll go check out my own individual merits.
dope, man. So what's your social media so everybody can follow you and check out you mad consistent. So like,
Gracias, sir.
it's gonna be something now y'all can go see, go back to yesterday, go back and just catch up. So yeah, social media.
Oh yeah, and I'm about to bring out that Ronald Reagan Soul Crack album. Finna put that back out, produced by Drugs Beats. Yeah, but I keep a plethora of music coming out. Then I got Animated Cataclysm 3. That's with DJ K Rec out of Canada. We already got two versions that's out. So definitely check that out. I'm finna make a mad dash to my charger, so I got some juice. Uh,
Cool,
uh, uh,
cool.
uh. It might be a dog in the picture. It might be a dog in the
Oh,
picture.
good.
Yeah. So then, yeah. Animated Cataclysm 3, Ronald Reagan Soul Crack, all that's coming out. Four Eyes, social media. As long as you put the number four IZE in any search engine, you're gonna be good. It could be your IG, it could be the Twitter X, it could be the Facebook, it could be the YouTube. I don't got no website just yet, but I got TikTok. But man, it's videos on YouTube. Yeah, actually, yeah, just go videos, it's interviews, it's all types of music. I guarantee you will have a wonderful time. If my face is not convincing of it, then just listen to Wordsworth because that man knows what he's talking about. He always have. That's why I mess with this dude big time. He's that guy.
Thank you, man. Yo, so thanks again, Four Eyes, for coming on the show. This guy's one of the most prolific artists that I know. Like I said, he will make you be like, am I doing what I need to do? I'm being real with it. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment below, and everything. Make sure y'all follow Four Eyes on Instagram. And like I always say, always ask, what are your words worth? Peace,
Oh
y'all.
man.
Thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate this, man.